Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again to Learn English with Teachify. And today we're going to be speaking about Mickey's favorite topic. But first,
Oh,
Mickey, good
yes.
morning. How are you?
Sorry, is that to me or was that to Will? I switched off for a moment. Switched
Um,
off. Phrasal verb is to not pay any attention. Learning already.
Was good. That was fast.
Mickey switched off. He stopped paying attention, and I was like 5 seconds into the podcast. So if you ever worry that you're not paying attention, don't worry. You could be Mickey.
Yeah, you could have the attention span of 5 seconds, which is not good.
So Will, how are you today?
I'm great, Lewis. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I'm really good. I'm a little bit, I don't know what the word is. I'm not tired. You know, when you just never fully wake up and you're not tired, you slept well or something, but you're just your mind is blurry. This is how I'm feeling. I think it's all of the Ted Lasso I've been watching in the evenings. And
Great series. Like it.
It's great, yeah. And it's just completely destroyed my brain, and now I cannot think. But apart from that, I'm really good, Lewis. Thanks for asking. What about Mickey? Is Mickey switched back on now?
Yeah, I'm back on now. I'm back in the room. I'm good. Really well. Been a good week, busy week, lots of things happening. Yeah, feeling pretty good. I don't feel tired. Haven't been watching too many series because I've been watching as much football as I possibly can of the Euros being on at the moment. So it's basically the highlight of my month because I'm never bored. I literally am never bored because there's three matches a day at the moment. So it's perfect.
I know, 100% I agree. Whenever I'm not sure what to do or what to put on the TV, it's like, perfect. Slovenia are playing against Georgia.
Great game,
What a
by
match.
Oh no, it wasn't. It was Turkey, wasn't it, Georgia? That was a good game. But
It
Lewis,
was,
we
it was.
ask you, how are you? That's the question.
I'm all right. Yes, I'm not bad. Finally, after a couple of months, people have stopped working on my roof, so I don't have any more distractions, which is a blessing. And the only downside is that the weather's still pretty grim, pretty depressing here in Brussels, but I'm sure it will get better in the near future. At least I hope so. We'll see.
Nice. That's good news then.
So I kind of teased it earlier. I said that we're going to be speaking about Mickey's favorite topic. It's definitely not my favorite topic, and it's all about cleaning and cleanliness. So,
Love
Mickey,
it.
explain yourself, but why are you so into cleaning?
Yeah, I don't, do you know what? I don't know. I mean, I know where it comes from, where it originates from, and it's definitely my parents. Actually, all of my family, if I look at my parents and my grandparents, we're all exactly the same. Even like an uncle that I haven't seen for years. I stayed around his house in Mallorca once, and he's exactly the same, but I don't even know him that well. And I was just watching his daily cleaning habits. So I was like, this is exactly the same as everybody else in my family, which is a bit weird, but also, what can I say? I love it. I love cleaning. It makes me feel at peace. I like to see clean things. I feel relaxed. When I'm stressed or overthinking, cleaning seems to be possibly the only one solution. Even more than running, like I have a clearer mind after I'm clean something. So yeah, it's a bit of an obsession, borderline, problem.
Okay. I definitely do not share this obsession. But I'm
I know,
interested.
Lewis. I know you do not share this obsession.
I don't share this obsession. I am a relatively clean guy, but to a normal level, like without being a psychopath, which is
Yeah,
how I look at normal, very clean people. If your
yeah, yeah,
house is spotless, it just makes me think that you are like the guy from American Psycho. Uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Or
oh,
Dexter.
exactly. Now, Will, what about you? Are you a clean guy or not?
Yeah, I am, but I would again, it's not obsessive, it's not over the top, it's not too much. I just once I use something, I clean it. I don't like things out of their place, but if I put it there, it's not a problem, if that makes sense. So, for example, my desk, I'm quite happy if I move something out of place, but if someone else does, It makes me extremely nervous. I don't know why, but yeah. No, but in general, I clean up after myself, and I'm not too crazy about these things. Make sure everything is clean, but not too much. And then I just wait for the cleaning lady to come around every 2 weeks, and she does the deep clean, if that makes sense.
So you,
Okay.
you do like the maintenance clean, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I do the surface, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
if I see dust, I'll get rid of the dust. If I don't see dust, eh. And yeah, so long as it's organized, I prefer organization and tidiness than being too careful about cleanliness, which sounds weird. Yeah, I just heard it.
So, you mentioned the cleaning lady. So you have someone who comes around to your house and cleans every fortnight?
That is correct. Every 2 weeks, every fortnight, yeah, we have a lady who comes round for a few hours. She does the whole flat, and then she leaves, and then she comes back every 2 weeks. Because living with someone, this can be the cause of some arguments or some frustrations. Oh, I cleaned this last time, you didn't clean this, or blah, blah, blah. This just makes it easier. Okay. We maintain the house, and then someone else comes and does everything.
Okay, perfect. Um,
Okay.
Lazy, if you ask me.
I was thinking exactly the same thing, Lewis. I didn't want to say anything. I just thought, how can you not keep your own house in order? Yeah,
But I do, though, for example. But no,
yeah, 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 yeah.
So Mickey,
I would say
how
it's an
about you?
investment.
Um, the deep clean. Will mentioned it that he does a deep clean, or someone does a deep clean every fortnight or so. How often do you clean everything really, really meticulously?
Yeah, I mean, I probably do that. To be fair, I'm not that obsessed with it. I probably do like a deep clean, like probably once every 2 weeks. But every week I will clean everything, kind of like shallowly, like, loosely clean everything. I'll do the kitchen, the bedrooms, I'll wash all of the towels, like even the towels that haven't been used in like the second bathroom, I'll wash them as well. Like, just because if I'm going to put the towels on a washing load, I might as well just wash them all. And that way I know whenever I have guests or anything, then everything's always clean. So yeah, like deep every 2 weeks, but during the week, probably once or twice I do like a soft clean.
Okay. Well, this
Yeah.
sounds, there are so many elements to this.
What about you?
Yeah.
Because you share your flat, so how do you manage it? Because Mickey's he's got everything under control. I cannot have everything under control. It's out of my control. So Lewis, you?
I live in a pigsty. No,
Make
no,
your
I'm
bed in the
joking.
morning, Lewis. Or are
I'm
you still
joking. I
sleeping in bed?
don't make my bed in the morning. I've said this before, and I will never do it. I refuse.
You
Um,
disgust me.
but there are things that I always do. So I always do the dishes. I hate to have like leftover food in the kitchen or in the sink. That I cannot
Oh,
stand. So I'll do that almost immediately after eating. And I'd say I probably do the dishes more than my girlfriend does. But then she cleans more than I do with other things. So I'll usually like hoover the flat once a week, maybe, because I'm so hairy that I have like hair and dust on the floor. And then like I wipe things in the bathroom. So I'll wipe the sink, for example, after shaving again, because you've got like these little hairs that are next to the sink. And I do the same with the toilet and the shower. Other than that, I don't really do anything.
Will, I can see this look. You seem like you're really judging Lewis here. Like, do you want to explain what you're laughing at?
I felt you were really reaching for and clutching at straws for any little cleaning activity.
Do I
For
do anything
example,
else?
after I shave, I guess, in the toilet, in the shower, I guess.
After I do a poo, I wipe my ass.
I felt you were, yeah, really trying to find any little thing and clutching at straws.
But
I love
honestly,
it.
on a serious note, though, do you not feel slightly more relaxed after having cleaned?
No, not at all.
You
I
don't feel
understand.
like you just don't feel calm and relaxed, and you're like, okay, now I can focus on the task in hand. But I can't start working without having a little cleanup.
I understand to an extent. I think it's more of the organization. So if it looks clean and is organized, then absolutely you are less stressed than if it's, there are things out of place or it's not clean. But I think if you just do it as you go, I don't consider it a clean. I just think it's once you've eaten something, you take your plate to the kitchen and you just wash it and stick it in the.
I'll tell you a story. I used to live actually with a current Teachify teacher. His name is Mark. I'm going to tell everyone, all of you
Yeah, I
listeners,
was
his
wondering
name
if you were
is
going to
Mark.
leave him like unnamed then, but no. So you lived with
No.
Mark.
Yeah, I lived with Mark. Mark Dilly. He's a Teachify teacher. I've known him for years, and I used to live with him in Seville. And he was the messiest person I have ever lived with. Like to the point, like we would wake up. So we lived in an apartment that was quite, it was quite big. So because he said, oh, we should live together. And I was actually living on my own at the time, but he wanted to move into the center. I said, look, I don't mind moving in with you. I said, I fancy a change. I wanted a change of apartment. I said, but it has to be big enough that we don't see each other. So we ended up getting this apartment, which was really nice. It was actually, we rented it from, what was his name? Antonio.
Antonio de la Torre.
Yeah. And it had like 3 floors and like a little terrace. So like one floor was like communal. It was like living room, kitchen, interior patio. Second floor was mine, bedroom, toilet. Third floor was his. And then we had like the terrace communal. So it was enough space for both of us to not step on each other's toes. Mark, however, is the type of person just to cook breakfast in the morning, couple of eggs on toast, or just something really simple which requires one plate, one knife, one fork, one pan, a little bit of oil, and some eggs, would turn it into a bomb site. I would come down in the morning and just see everything everywhere, like eggs on the floor, like on the side units. But not only that, he would make a mess, sit down, have his breakfast as you would, but then he would leave the plates in the sink for like an hour afterwards. And this would piss me off. This is we used to argue about this. I'd be like, are you going to clean your shit up? It was the worst thing. It was a daily argument we had. So then what I did was I decided to get up even earlier and do my breakfast first. And then I just didn't have to see it. And just if it took him an hour to clean up afterwards, it's down to him. It's on him. It's not on me. I'm out of the picture. I don't have to see it. And I could just move on with my life because it got to a point where I actually feel like I lost quite a bit of hair during this process. It was very stressful.
Wow. So he actually pushed you to change your habits. He
Yeah.
made you change your morning routine
Yeah.
because of him being so lazy.
Yeah. So if anybody's listening to this and you have classes with Mark, please bring it up and please mention it to him and just say, I know a story about you and your morning breakfast routine, and just see what he says. That's it. I think that's it. I just had a little rant there, a little rant. I just had to vent a little bit of my emotions. See how the emotional impact I still have. And this was like 5 years ago. It still affects me, huh?
I know. I can sense anger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems pretty intense. Yeah, and
Yeah,
you say
yeah.
lost a lot of hair doing this.
Yeah. Honestly, just talking about it, my blood
Years.
is boiling. Like I feel like I need to clean things now just to calm down.
Wow. This is, intense. Will, have you ever had a similar experience sharing a flat with someone who was just filthy, so dirty?
Yeah, my current living situation every single day. Exactly the same. To be honest, I don't want to leave my office to find the mess left from breakfast. So I completely understand, Mickey, and I feel I'm also losing hair over this as well. That's why. So yeah, I understand completely. It's extremely frustrating. I don't know how to do it except to have therapy. Really, I mean that's the best way through it.
Just to cover over the root of the problem.
Yeah. I think that's the best way. No, but it is extremely frustrating, which is why we have a cleaner that comes and does everything properly. Because if not, I couldn't do it. I would hold too much resentment otherwise. But yeah, no. This is not a cause of argument in your household, Lewis.
Particularly, I wouldn't say an argument, a friendly discussion, perhaps, but it never gets too heated because I'm as clean as I need to be.
So you would never use your partner's toothbrush like to clean the toilet and not tell them about it?
No, but
I've never done that. I'm just saying. I've seen Mark. If your students, no, I'm joking. I'm joking. I saw it in a film. Thought it'd be funny to do one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
interesting. A lot of things are coming out about Mark and his cleanliness.
Yeah.
But just going over a couple of things that we used. Filthy is a nice adjective, which means very dirty. And Mickey used a nice phrasal verb, which was to bring up. So you just thought you'd bring up this little funny story about Mark, which is to mention or to introduce a subject. And Will, if we go back to the beginning, you mentioned that you have the cleaner twice a month, so every 2 weeks, which is every fortnight. So a fortnight is 2 weeks. And given that I'm explaining some of these advanced terms right now, it's the perfect moment to move on and teach some idioms and phrasal verbs related to the topic, related to cleaning. And I'm going to kick off. I'm going to start by going over a simple phrasal verb, which is to tidy up. We could also use to tidy in general, or we could use to clean or to clean up. So usually I don't do a big deep clean at the weekend, but I might tidy up. I'll put my clothes in the wardrobe. I'll maybe wipe the worktop. I'll maybe put my plates away and into the cupboards. I'll just tidy up, I'll clean up a little bit. So that's the first one. It's funny because both of you are looking at me as if you don't believe that I tidy up.
Do you know? I mean, we've stayed together as well, Lewis. And to be fair, I mean, we never cooked at home, but you never made your bed either. So I'm taking that as a sign that you don't even tidy up.
Of course I do. Come on. Now, Mickey, over to you. Tell us a phrasal verb or idiom related to cleaning.
Nice. I will. I've got one here. I just wanted to say something about what you said with the phrasal verb about tidy up, and sometimes you don't even use the preposition up. And just to make listeners aware that actually there are a lot of cases in English where you don't have to use the preposition and the meaning is the same. And I feel like a lot of students, when they're listening to native speakers, for example, if Lewis was like, "Oh, I'm going to tidy up my house," some students panic and they're like, "Oh, up. Does this mean something different to the actual context?" And a lot of times it actually means exactly the same thing. So just be aware of that when you're listening to speakers, native speakers in particular, we do tend to add prepositions that sometimes don't need to be added just because it's the way that we speak, just to be aware of. So my idiom is going to be to sweep something under the rug, which is basically to hide or ignore something. So sometimes maybe you have an issue or a problem with your friend or your partner or at work, but you just want to ignore it. You don't want to make a big deal out of it. So you would sweep it under the rug. You both know that the issue is still there, but you've both chosen to just ignore it and move forward with something. So to sweep something under the rug. That would be my idiom for you guys. Will.
A beautiful idiom. I was going to explain the preposition up as well at the end of these phrasal verbs. So tidy up, finish up. As you said, it doesn't change the meaning. It's very common, as you said, to put the preposition afterwards. And if it's up, it generally just emphasizes that something's finishing. To finish up, for example, and to tidy up, as you said. Anyway, you explained that.
Wash up. Yeah. Oh, that's true. Actually, I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, just it gives that.
What would you say? Ring
up.
up. I was just thinking ring up. I'm going to ring him up. Ring him up. Ring him up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's always, but like to close up a shop. I don't know why, but yeah, it's something I learned sometime in the past. Anyway, my one is to scrub up well. So, for example, a random person, might always wear a t-shirt and never wear a shirt for these things. And you're probably thinking, oh, he always looks informal, etc. But if you see him in a different situation and he's wearing something smart, a tie, a shirt, a jacket, and he looks more elegant, you would say, oh, you scrub up well. The implication is you go from being, informal and maybe a little bit messy, or I don't know, scruffy, another good word. And then you actually wear something nice and you're like, oh, this actually looks good. He scrubs up well.
It's almost surprising. Like you would use it when you didn't
Yeah.
expect somebody could look good. Like you're like,
Yeah.
oh, actually, you scrub up quite well. Like you look, you just couldn't picture that person dressed that way, or like, yeah.
Yeah, this is
Perfect.
common in films. You hear this a lot when there's someone suddenly who is the geek or something, and then suddenly they wear something nice, and they're like,
Ooh, yeah.
scrub up well.
They
Anyway,
scrub up well.
they do scrub up well, yeah.
Um, by the way, I have an update.
A
So,
football update. It's too early. It's only 10:30.
no,
There isn't football yet.
I have an update, and I think this is quite interesting because we were speaking about who cleans the most in houses, for example. And I just, out of the corner of my eye, I saw some WhatsApp messages on my phone. And the messages, I'm going to translate them from Spanish into English. And they're from my girlfriend. And the first one is, it literally, que cara más dura, which is very difficult to translate, but it's what a hard face, which basically means that's so cheeky,
Oh no,
or something along those lines.
it's an
And then the
interesting
next
start.
one,
Yeah, I'm curious now. I'm on the edge of my seat waiting for this.
this is good content if I've ever heard it before. The next one is, I clean a lot more than you,
No way.
and I also do the dishes and cook more. And then you never clean the bathroom, and there's still hair on the toilet.
This is hilarious.
And then there is a sticker at the end of it. And the sticker, I'm going to describe it to you. It's like someone, when they make a point and they want to end the argument, and it's like they drop the mic, they drop the microphone. So that's basically what my girlfriend has just sent me, because she was hearing this conversation and she clearly didn't agree that I am clean enough. So
Well,
maybe we need to get a cleaner.
yeah, maybe it's get a cleaner. And Estella, thank you for the input,
Yeah,
because
that
to
was
be completely honest with you, Estella, if you can hear this, myself and Will knew this about Lewis. We knew that he was talking out of his ass.
there was a look in
Terrible.
his eye as you were telling her, "Oh, I cleaned this, I cleaned this." I just see the struggle in your face, like shit. I do more, but what?
These terrible, terrible false accusations, you know. Oh, dearie me.
No.
So on that bombshell, I think we should call it a day. And I hope you enjoyed this conversation related to cleaning, about Mickey's obsession, about Will's
Mark.
arguments, about Mark and his horrible, scruffy, filthy habits, and about the fact that apparently I never clean, which is partly true, but not 100%. So thank you so much for listening and for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye bye.